The second best day in the penitentiary is by far New Year's Eve because the calendars are about to change. Obviously, the first day is the day you're paroling, but the second best day is New Year's Eve because you're hitting another calendar. That's another year down. Everybody feels the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's getting clear that, hey, this time is passing. We are going to make it. But just like on the street, everybody in the pen says, I'm going to quit doing drugs. I'm going to start working out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with setting a New Year's resolution. A lot of people talk shit on it, but honestly, I don't. Want to know why? Want to know the craziest thing? My New Year's resolution last year was to start talking on camera every day. And that was the first time I did on my Instagram was last year, 2018, January 1st. And I just made sure that every day I did a story where I spoke and got comfortable on camera. The craziest thing about life is what we fear the most and our greatest weaknesses always become our greatest strengths. We become so proud that we overcame what was once a true weakness that it turns into something of empowerment. It gives us massive confidence and we just push forward with it. Try it. This year, I just want everyone to take what they're most afraid of, what's seemingly one of their biggest weaknesses, and attack that shit. This is how we level up. This was the game changer of my life. What I just hated doing. I hated speaking on camera. I knew I had shit to say, but I didn't like how I looked. I didn't like how I sounded. And it was the game changer because that's what we're blessed with by the universe. When we face our fears, face your fears. In the penitentiary, just like everywhere else, people get hammered. I'll never forget 2012 New Year's Eve when my cellie Steve got shit-faced, decided to get in the vent. The vent is the space between cells, which we talk through when we're on lockdown. So we're on lockdown and we're talking through the vent to each other. And he decides to get in the vent thinking he's being some cheery-ass motherfucker. And he's just telling everyone, Happy New Year's. The next morning, the word came down from up top and it was, hey, Wes, handle that shit. Handle that shit. So I knew what time it was. And I called him over. I said, hey, big dog, come here real quick. He knew what was up. He knew he fucked up. And when he came over, it was, bah! Just laid him out. He kind of just was holding on to my arm as he fell down. He was an older cat, but this is how it works. It doesn't fucking matter. Nobody cares who you are. Shot caller, youngster, old cat. If you break the rules, you have to come out trademarked up. So now the homies had to see his face trademarked up. They had to see that he got fucked up for disrespecting them and being in the vent. Not everyone wants to be up at 12 on New Year's Eve. So the fact that he decided to wake them all up and act like that, he had to get handled, and he did. He took it humbly. But the thing was, next year, he did the same shit. These motherfuckers don't learn. Just like out here, people don't learn. We will continually learn the lesson in life till we finally learn the lesson. And my goal on here is to show you guys to humble yourself. Learn these lessons before life humbles you. Before life humbles you. In the pen, we make Pruno, we make White Lightning, fools get hammered. I mean, the whole thing is it's just like out here. But the fact is just like out here, when you don't stick to your New Year's resolution, when you consume all this motivation, you get all pumped up, you want to change, you say you're gonna, and then you consume this motivation and you don't see it through, what you said to yourself, what you said out loud, what you in your heart felt like sticking to. When something is powerful that you hear, a quote, a phrase, the wisdom of the ages, something said by someone motivational, when you hear it and you feel it physically and it's drawing you to make those changes, when you don't adhere to that change that you know you want in your heart, you fall under something called the law of diminishing intent. Look it up. This is a real universal law. It's like karmic debt. It's like everything else. The law of diminishing intent states that if we continually stop the path that we're undergoing for our growth, for our change, if we knowingly stop this path, every time we try to re-embark on the path, it becomes harder and harder. I abide by these laws without fail. The second I read something that resonates with me on a high level, I imply it in my life. It will empower you every day the rest of your life. If you hear it, it gives you motivation, gives you power, and then you denounce it at all by not acting upon it, you have just taken away from that universal fucking strength, that universal power exponentially. People have like this weird belief that these superficial things of life give them power, but they know everything spiritual, everything universal, everything we feel from within is where our true power lies. So do not say you're going to do something and not follow it through. That takes away the power of your word. When your word is diminished, your character is diminished, the respect for you from other individuals is diminished. This is how we're in control. The universe is giving you a path, and once you embark on that path, see it through. See it through, because every time after that, you will fuck yourself if you don't see it through. We become oversaturated with a lot of this, a lot of the reading people do, a lot of the motivational speeches they seek. It's oversaturated. Take one quote from the shit I say, but implant it in your head and run with it. Don't read massive amounts of books. Read small amounts of knowledge, wisdom of the ages, quotes. Read small tidbits, passages that just get the wheels turning. Then apply them to an event in your life and gain the power from the universe. Get those chills. When a thought provokes a physical feeling like chills, how else is the universe supposed to talk to you? This is the universe saying, yes, yes, explore that, explore that. So you have to explore these things. Stuff like life happens for you. I've been running off that my whole life ever since I read that. Every day that was in the back of my head. Now I live my life with my credo, with these main quotes that are running my life and keeping me on track. Life happens for you. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. In the back of my head, I sit in basically like a meditation stance in the back of my head, and I watch my mind work. It's habitual construction at its finest. I watch my mind work, and when I'm acting in a manner that isn't congruent with these quotes I believe in the depth of my soul, I'm just expelling them or accepting them. Accepted, expelled. Accepted, expelled. This action fits where I'm going in life, or this one doesn't. We must act this way, or else you're a victim of circumstance. People who don't believe the manner in which I speak, they're just saying nothing's under their control, that everything is just happening to them at will, that they're fucked, that they're not in control of their choices, and we all know our choices dictate our lives. Take care of yourself more than anything. Your mourning process is what is going to put you in the place you need to be in life. Don't end up in the penitentiary counting calendars, watching these people throw their lives away, just banging fucking shit in their arms. You guys are so blessed out here. You get to learn from motherfuckers like my dumb ass. I made the biggest mistake. The karmic debt was so immense that I had to sit down for 7 years before I felt that shit lift. I didn't feel my karmic debt lift till about year 7. And I knew when it lifted because everything became so clear. Quit putting all this karmic debt in your path with your little ass fucking problems. People, by selling out the universe, by selling out its plan for you, by selling out what you know better. As you get older and you know better than the shit you're doing, karma hit is instant. It happens to you right away. When you know you shouldn't talk shit to that motherfucker, when you know you shouldn't act in a certain manner, this shit will hit you instantly. It's instantly, especially for me, because I know better, because I've spoke these universal truths to everybody. We know all this shit's right. The golden rule has always been correct. Yet I continually fuck up with my anger. I'm getting better at it, but I continually fuck up with it. That is the only thing that throws karmic debt in my path. That is the only thing that throws me just out of whack. That's the only thing that fucks up my positive mindset, is when I act that way. We are only punished in this life when we willingly give our character away, when we willingly fault in our character that we know we need to possess. That is the only time we willingly give up our life. If we never break character, life, time, anything, all the above can never be taken from us.